Hi guys, Hellville here. Okay, so I just discovered that my travel mic turns red when muted. So that's kind of cool. Pretty freaking obvious. So you can like tell if you're muted or not. So that's good. I'm not sure about the sound quality though. Is it okay? Oh, you can't hear me that well? Oh, is that better? Let me know. I did test it earlier, but who knows? Go. You put yourself on a delay. Oh my gosh, so funny. Oh yeah, let me pull up the comments here. Ahoy, ahoy, Bruce. Hello, hello. And Lana, hello, hello to you, dear. I hope you're feeling well. Um, okay, good. The sound quality is better then. Cool. Yes, it is only you for now, hopefully. Hopefully more people will join. I don't know if there's other people going live tonight. I didn't check the whole schedule. As you can see by my background, am traveling, and you can probably hear someone's travel harness bell. Hello, Bond. And his like name tag literally says Bond, period. James Bond, as it should, and is a bow tie. Yes, my little 007. He's such a good spy. Actually, okay, so I said in he's just chilling out on my lap now. That's so funny. I expected him to jump off. He okay, so I said in the short when I was rescheduling last night's live to tonight, I I said he officially passed his training, his spy training. He caused a ruckus in the airport. I take him into the oh, don't roll yourself off of my lap, you silly goose. Um, I take him into the what are they called? Like the family restrooms or all gender restrooms or whatever, because they're a lot more quiet than the pet areas. And also all the pet areas in the airports are made for dogs. And they don't realize that. It would be nice if there was like a cat room that was just like quieter. Um, and maybe just like the whole floor is just litter. And then there's like a big scoop that comes in and disposes of everything. That would be kind of cool. I should make that suggestion to all the airports. Um, but anyway, uh, so he likes to try to climb up into things when we are traveling. And he climbed up into under the sink, and I couldn't find him. I couldn't find him. He was just gone. And so they called in the maintenance people to come and like check, like take the cover thing off or whatever. And I'm just like looking for him so desperately. I put out treats. The lady who was wheeling me, okay, so um, fun fact, my knee has been bothering me recently. As you guys know, I have some health, you know, situations. So my knee has been bothering me recently, so I got a wheelchair for the airport. And so the lady that was wheeling me, so sweet, she was like playing YouTube like fish tank soundtracks because it was making him happy the night before. But anyway, I was just desperately trying to get him to come back out, and they basically said he could be if he followed the line of the pipe. It's like he could be pretty far away in the airport. They know where to look, but he could be. My butt's being touched. He could be pretty far. So I went and looked again, and I saw like towards the bottom that there was like maybe a little fur. And as it turns out, he was like sitting right at the bottom of inside the sink the whole time. Such a spicy little asshole, this one. Um, so He graduated spy school early. He successfully disappeared. And even me, I couldn't find him. And he was hiding in plain sight. So there's that. Other fun update. I have ordered Cracker Barrel for the first time. Oh dear, hold on. What is happening here? Why is it not? Oh, live chat, not top chat. Yes, okay, that's what I thought. That is a crying, laughing emoji. Yes, and he graduated. He graduated spy school. He's so silly. He almost got lost in Atlanta. So there's that. That was frustrating. But anyway, so I'm down south and I ordered Cracker Barrel for the first time. I've never had it before. The pancakes were pretty good. And they sent these cute little syrup bottles. They're like glass and everything. So cute. Oh, Cracker Barrel is Midwest. Interesting. I don't know where I am. I think I'm near Arcan. Wait. What's it called? Texan or something. I think Texana. So like, I think near Louisiana, Arkansas, and Texas, where they kind of all meet. I think. I don't know. I have no idea where I am. I never know where I am. I have no sense of geography. It's kind of sad, but also funny. Yes, that's it. Texarkana. That one. Thank you. Yes. So anyway, also, it came with my order is a biscuit, but they did not include the honey. How am I supposed to have a Southern biscuit without the honey? I would like to know. Anyway, also, I've discovered, so I like to stay at Emerald Suites or Embassy Suites because I like to have a separate room so that if Bond is driving me crazy while I'm trying to sleep before I have to go work, I can just kind of like lock him out in the living room and he can just drive the living room crazy. And so I like a one-bedroom situation. So I really like the Emerald Suites and the Embassy Suites for that reason. They all have like happy hours where you can get 2 free drinks and some like nosh, some like crudités like cheese and crackers and stuff like that, and hummus and veggies and usually chips and dip and stuff. It's really nice. I love it. I also realized today, just something clicked. It is diabolical because if you have 2 drinks, some people who are lightweights, now we have to stay at the hotel and order from their restaurant. if they don't like employ delivery services. So I didn't realize how diabolical the plan was. I happen to be a heavyweight, so not an issue for me, but I did order delivery. I had no idea how, like, I just didn't think of it until today for some reason, how diabolical it is that they offer 2 free drinks pretty much to make you grounded at their hotel. So you have to order from them. Totally wild. Anyway, I don't know if that's the reason behind it, but I'm sure it came into play at some point. I'm gonna throw those over there. So okay. So we've got like 6 people here. So let's get started. Okay, add to stage. I hate this layout. Why does it keep doing this to me? It is driving me crazy. Okay. So our missing pet of the stream. Hey Rob, how you doing? Hope all is well with you, my friend. Okay, so missing pet of the stream is named Ivy, is female, and was lost in San Antonio, Texas. So if you recognize her, she's a beautiful striped kitty. She doesn't seem to have white on her chest. Some striped cats do, some don't. She's short-haired. She looks very svelte. She doesn't really look like she's fat in any way, shape, or form. And she is, oh, I guess it doesn't say how old she is. But she ran out of the front door of the apartment on August 9th. So if anyone has seen Ivy or any cat who looks like Ivy in the San Antonio, Texas area, please report that to pawboost.com. And all the info is on the screen, assuming you can read it. I will need to zoom in for the Reddit. Okay. Okay, so I went through and found 4 Reddit stories. Let me share this tab instead. Okay, this is actually zoomed in, so that's good. I might even zoom out a little bit. It's a little aggressively large. Okay. Nope. Okay, so am I the asshole? My parents, male and female, late 60s, don't want to come to my wedding if my brother, 36 male, can't come. He's probably done something truly horrendous to warrant not being invited to her wedding, in my opinion. So I don't know what you're asking, are you the asshole about, but you're probably not the asshole. That's my opinion. Anyone else? Anyone think differently? Anyone think that this person could possibly be the asshole in this scenario, just based on the title so far? I'm thinking probably not. I think he probably did something really terrible. I don't know what, but most likely he did to warrant not being invited. Okay, if you guys are just not near your keyboard, that's fine. So I will read on, but feel free to enter your vote later if you would like. Okay. My brother and I are 9 years apart, and we were never close. Lana said, I think she probably has a great reason to not have him present. Yeah, same. Usually you don't not invite a family member that's that close unless there's a really good reason to, in most cases. I can't say that for all cases, but in most cases, definitely. So, my brother and I are 9 years apart, and we were never close. I've never really understood why, but my parents would always say we'd get closer as we got older. That never happened. I have no memories of him at all from my childhood. How do you have no memories? Well, I guess 9 years apart. By the time she was fully conscious, he was probably moved out for college and stuff, if that's the path he took. I have no memories at all of him from my childhood, and every time I'm forced to interact with him now as an adult, he's a total asshole. He'll gaslight me, never apologize, even when he's clearly in the wrong. And my parents just wave off his behavior as a personality quirk. Captain Nads, hello, says parents are the assholes. Yeah. Threatening to not go to your daughter's wedding is really fucked up in any scenario, really, in my opinion. Okay. They wave it off as a personality quirk. A couple of years ago, his now ex-partner of over 10 years accused him of sexual assault and filming her and other women having sex with him without her consent. Ooh. These accusations, hi baby, these accusations horrified me. She was part of our family for most of my life, and while we weren't close, she was always very sweet and kind to me, unlike him. The civil suit is just still ongoing between them as far as I know. Oh my goodness, she sued. That's a tough road, but it's smart that she went civil because criminal is really difficult to, I think it's harder to pursue legally, and you're dragged out a lot more as the victim in criminal court, in my opinion. Oh good, he's eating. Lana said her parents are probably where he learned his trash behavior. Yeah, brother is an asshole. Yeah, I don't think that's in dispute. Honestly, I think it's probably, am I the asshole, or are my parents the asshole? But but yeah, the parents are probably the asshole in this situation. Okay, so she's suing him civilly, and the case is ongoing. I'm having an extremely intimate wedding of 35 guests. I did invite my brother, but he never RSVP'd. When I told my parents he never RSVP'd, it was now nearly 2 months past the deadline. They reached out to him, and he reached out to me. He blamed me for him not RSVPing. What? What? Oh my God. Said the process had been too confusing, even though he never reached out with any questions, and every other guest managed to RSVP just fine. And he demanded a +1 for his girlfriend of 6 months, who was over 10 years younger than him and 3 months pregnant, apparently. Oh my God. Can she invite his ex? Lana wants to know. Yeah, she can. I think that would kind of make her more of an asshole if she did that. That would be more of like an everyone sucks here situation. So far, I don't see how she's in the wrong. But if she invited the ex, then I think she would be. But she, as she said herself, she was never really that close to her. So I don't think she really has a reason to invite the ex. But that would be one way to get back at him. I just don't think your wedding should be about revenge, personally. I think it should be about you and your partner loving each other so much that you want to commit to each other forever, legally. But maybe that's just me. I don't know. Okay. I'm having an extremely intimate wedding, blah, 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 blaming me, 10 years younger and 3 months pregnant, apparently. I put my foot down and said, no, I don't want him there. My friends know how uncomfortable he makes me, and initially my parents said, while they were sad, that they would ultimately respect my choice. Now, with about 2 months until my wedding, they have changed their minds. They won't come unless he does. I'm heartbroken. That sucks. Your parents suck. He didn't follow simple instructions. That's his fault, and he could have gone, but you probably already paid for a certain amount of people, this, that, and the other. So weddings are not that flexible overall. They say I'm being immature and disinviting him is a bridge too far. A bridge too far. A bit too far, maybe. I don't think that's immature. I think he couldn't follow simple instructions to RSVP in the time frame or the 2 months thereafter that was requested by the couple. Then that's a him issue, in my opinion. I'm not a parent, but I'm trying to see their perspective. But I just can't shake how they always seem to minimize my emotions and make me the problem, even on my wedding day. Am I being unreasonable? No. No. I believe there might be some, I mean, yeah, he obviously learned these behaviors probably from his parents, but there might be some like golden child, black sheep situation happening. And I think this girl is the black sheep, unfortunately, who can never do right, and he, as the golden child, can never do wrong. I was the black sheep, if you couldn't tell. So anyway, yeah, it's a trait of usually a narcissistic parent. I don't know if either of them are narcissists or show any narcissistic tendencies. She really hasn't gotten into the parent psyche at all. But frequently the, golden child, black sheep thing comes with a narcissistic parent or both narcissistic parents, but usually two narcissists can't exist together in one relationship. But anyway, so end of story. What does everyone think? I think not the asshole. It's heartbreaking that your parents aren't going to come to your wedding, but I don't think that you should change your mind about him not coming because he couldn't follow simple instructions to RSVP in a timely manner. That's my opinion. I don't think you're the asshole. It's really sad though that your parents would say that they would try to give you that ultimatum. It's just constant. I wonder if you can have anyone else kind of show up for you, like an aunt, an uncle, or something, who can kind of be like the parental. Did you ever like confide in any other family members? Like maybe you viewed other people as like parental figures as well. Maybe you can invite them to kind of like take the place of your parents or something. Lana said family of assholes. Yeah, except OP. She doesn't seem like an asshole. I mean, she could be in her own right. I don't know, but on Reddit, we just kind of see the one story. We don't get to see like the full context, and the full relationships and, what OP might have done, etc. So it's hard to say that, but it seems like from this story, yes, family of assholes, except for OP. Okay, some relevant comments from OP. Harbor House has insane fees. I'm getting married in less than a month, so I'll report back if it was worth it or not. Oh, she's going to some fancy place, I guess, to get married. So yeah, that makes sense, that she kept it small and had a hard deadline. That makes a lot of sense. She probably had to pay a ridiculous fee per person. Getting married in less than a month, so I'll report back if it was worth it or not. For reference, guest count is 33. Getting married on a weekday in March and negotiated the hell out of them. And it's $60,000 just for the venue, catering, and lodging, inclusive of all fees. Wait, lodging for you and your future husband or lodging for everybody? $60,000 is great just for the venue. Oh, how much is your wedding dress? How much is your dress? How much is the catering? How much is like, oh, it includes catering, but like decorations, DJ, I don't know, whatever else. I don't know if you can DJ there. I don't know. Anyway, I don't know this venue, but another relevant comment. That's not the estimated cost for the entire wedding, but that's just the venue, lodging, food, beverage. But then paying is why I don't feel comfortable uninviting them. Oh, they're paying. Just because they're paying doesn't mean you have to do everything they say. So that's my opinion. And if they want to go on a strike, then say, thank you so much for paying. I appreciate it. It's too bad that you won't be there to experience what you paid for. But I'm a petty bitch. So there's that. Lofty Quackers, I like this name, said, not the asshole. Your parents are yet again putting him before you. You should not have people at your wedding that make you uncomfortable. I'm sorry your parents hurt you yet again. Elegant Straw said, not the asshole. Everyone at your wedding, everyone, my brain. Not the asshole, enjoy your wedding without them. They don't get to make demands on who gets invited, especially when the person in question is the sexual predator, too lazy to even bother to RSVP. We don't really know if he's a sexual predator, so that's like a big statement to make, I think. But anyway, that's my opinion on that. I don't think we should be throwing those kind of accusations around lightly. So anyways, update. TLDR, parents threatened not to come to my wedding if my brother, older, estranged, accused of sexual assault, couldn't come. So we scheduled a family therapy session, my parents and my fiance and I. It went horribly. Shocker, 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 shocker. I calmly explained that I expected my feelings and comfort would be prioritized on my wedding day. My mom very calmly said, you were wrong. Your feelings don't matter on your wedding day, you stupid bitch. I added that in, obviously, but it was so stupid. I don't know who's the narcissist between the mom and the dad, but one of them's got to be. Like, one of them has to be. This is crazy. It sounds like it's the mom, but I don't know. That's wild. It spiraled from there. My parents called me selfish, entitled. My decision was disrespectful to them. They didn't hold back. My fiance and I kept our composure and remained calm. They raised their voices and started mocking my therapist at one point. Therapist, like, session over. You still owe me the full amount. That is wild. My mom even said my attention to all the little wedding details didn't bode well for my marriage. Just because you want a wonderful, like, detailed wedding doesn't mean that your marriage is going to fail. And that's a terrible thing to say to your child that is getting married. Honestly, this comment sticks with me the most. I'm extremely detail oriented, and it's one of the things I love about myself. It's something important for my job, and it's important for all my hobbies. It felt so extremely personal because it was. She was going personal. She's probably the narcissist in the family. I'm not diagnosing the mom here. I'm just saying that this rings very familiar to a lot of stories that I've read and some experiences that I've had myself. So, yeah, it's I think mom's a narcissist, and when they are logically losing an argument, they get personal. That's what they do. They strike below the belt. That's what they do. That is just simply what they do. And it's always something. I want the rainbow in the image. Sorry, guys. It's always something truly harmful, because they're trying to inflict harm so that you don't continue logicking them. Usually, that's kind of the MO that I'm personally accustomed to, and have read tons and tons about. Very interesting subreddit, and I haven't made the thumbnails yet, so I haven't done any of these readings, but Raised by Narcissist, r/Raised by Narcissist. Very interesting, very informative, very similar experiences. So I've read over the years a lot of stories from there, and yeah, this is textbook from could have been written in Am I the Asshole, or could have been written in Raised by Narcissist. So in my opinion, yeah. Yeah, that's what narcissists do though. They get personal when they're not winning the argument to get you to shut up. After the therapy session, I texted every single member of my extended family who's coming to the wedding, and I let them know that my parents may not be coming to my wedding and the reason why. The outpouring of support I received was overwhelming, and it touched my heart. Yeah, so some of these extended family members might have over the years felt like she's been mistreated, and might have like already had a soft spot in their heart for her. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't know their past. But that is something that does sometimes happen in these types of stories. But also with a narcissist, it is very good to get your story out there first, because the narcissist will twist it to make themselves the victim and also the hero in every story, in my experience. Anyway. Okay. The outpouring of support I received was overwhelming and touched my heart. They assured me that they were coming to my wedding for my fiance and I, not my parents or brother. I've never been super close with my cousins and aunts, but I've been following up and checking in with them more often now. Yeah, she probably felt support for the first time in her freaking life, like familial support. About a week later, my mom called me and said they decided they wanted to come. My dad made it clear he was going to support his wife. Yep, he's the enabler parent. I knew it. And that I ruined this experience for them. So that was fun to hear. Stop blaming yourself. It doesn't matter what they say. Stop blaming yourself. Honestly, I would invite them. I'd be like, I don't want you to come. You're a horrible human. To my brother, you're great. To me, you're horrible. Anyway, I wonder if she was like unwanted, because 9 years is a big age gap. I wonder if she was unwanted and maybe that's why she's the black sheep. I don't know. My wedding is in 2 weeks. I'm praying for no drama, but at this point, I've accepted that I can't control what they do. I'm still hyped to get married and see all my friends and extended family. My in-laws have really stepped up. My future mother-in-law checks in every week to see how I'm doing. That's so good. You have like a substitute parent, which is so wonderful to have in this kind of situation. Not everyone does, so it's very lucky. And some people even have, horrible mother-in-laws. So you're very lucky that that is not the kind of family you're marrying into. My mom hasn't checked in. I'll let y'all know how the wedding goes. Yes, please. Please do. OOP saw the post and comments and has posted an update. Wonderful. Oh, this is super recent. Okay, so this is the final update from 4 days ago. I might be the first person covering this story. I don't know. I think a Charlotte video dropped today, so I'm not entirely sure, but possibly. Anyway, my teeny tiny micro audience of 6 people. Not like anyone else will know besides my audience that I covered it first, but breaking story. Final update posted 4 days ago. Hey y'all, I'm back. As a precaution, a few days before the wedding, I sent my venue some press my brother was featured in. His ex called him a harpist in a national publication. Oh shit. Where his photo was shown. So they knew to watch out for him and what he looked like. Good. Very good. I would also have passwords on everything so that they can't call and try to change things behind your back. But anyways, that is also a good thing. At the end of the day, I was 95% sure he wouldn't come. Growing up, he would never show up to events I wanted him to attend. And my wedding was an extremely remote location anyway, so I felt it had sufficient insurance. I felt I had sufficient insurance that he wouldn't show up. And I was right. He never showed. Yay! Most of my stress was centered around my parents. I was concerned that they would cause some kind of a scene. Maybe your mom wore a white dress or something like that, or a red dress to indicate that she banged the fiance, whatever. Yeah, narcissists do sometimes do that. They want the attention. But they were pretty withdrawn from the whole day. Yeah, because they didn't get what they wanted. They didn't get what they wanted. So that's why they were withdrawn. Anyway. Where was I? But at every moment, I was low-key terrified that they would do something. When I finally took my wedding dress off, I was covered in hives. Oh my God, she gave herself an allergic. She's allergic to her parents. But honestly, looking at the pictures of the day, I looked happy and relaxed. I absolutely love our pictures. Every vendor did a phenomenal job, and I look back mostly with fond memories. That's wonderful. Where my parents and I stand now, weird. Before the wedding, I honestly would have thought that they were my best friends. I felt like I could tell them anything. Interesting. Therapy didn't last long, but our final session, I let my mom know that I felt like fundamentally they treated my brother and I very differently, where they expected me to show up early and they were just happy if he showed up at all. If I'd gotten pregnant at 25 to a man 11 years older than me on a first date, not 5 years after graduating an Ivy League school, they paid full price for. I knew they would not be excited for me, but for him, they were delighted. I guess he has strong seed. Jesus. My brother and his fiance ended up getting married only a day or two after me. Shocker. In a nearby city by a justice of the peace. My parents attended, but to my knowledge, it was extremely small. She was 6 or 7 months pregnant at this point. Shotgun wedding. I feel like the best friends I thought I had in my parents are now people with whom I have major value differences. I don't know how to reconcile the people I grew up with the people who've been shitty to me the last 9 months. There have to have been instances from the past where they were shitty too. There's no way that they just suddenly started getting shitty right when you're trying to get married and like your brother basically uninvited himself by not RSVPing and also makes you uncomfortable. So you didn't follow up with him because you didn't really want him to come, in my opinion. Anyway, I don't really call or text them anymore. Maybe that will change. I don't know. About the money. A lot of people called out the cost of my wedding, how my parents said paid, therefore could call the shots, etc. No, they can't call the final shot of things. They can call shots on maybe some things or at least say what they want. But that doesn't guarantee that the bride and groom are going to want that too. So ultimately, it is up to the bride and groom. And if you want to withdraw your money, then go ahead, withdraw your money. In my opinion, if I want my wedding the way I want it, then your money. If you want to make decisions because you're paying, then there are some things that I might concede on, but for the most part, me and my fiance are making the choices. That's how it should be anyway. I'll be honest, my parents are very wealthy, low 8-figure net worth. Well, the amount they paid for my wedding literally meant nothing financially to them. Beyond this, I often wrestled with the concept that they paid, therefore it was their party. But that concept is so gross to me. If I threw my friend a birthday party, it would be so shitty of me to invite people that they had a horrible relationship with. Even if I paid for every single thing, I would never ever do that to a friend. You're also not friends with your parents. They're your parents, not your friends. But anyway, I said as much to my parents. I underscored that if I had known my wedding budget hinged on my brother's attendance, I would never have accepted a dime. They agreed putting conditions on the money retroactively was unfair. Okay, well, at least they agreed on that. That's interesting. Usually narcissists don't admit fault ever. Anyway, married life is great. My husband is amazing, and I appreciate every single comment. I read them all. I can't believe so many people cared. Okay, well, that ended up as well as it could have. I'm very surprised that the parents didn't make any kind of outburst or any kind of attention grabbing commotion or whatever. So that's good. Happy she loved her wedding, you know? Let's move on to the next story. Okay. Me, 25 female with my boyfriend, 26 male of nearly 3 years. He wants to open our relationship for him. Not sure if I'm in a position to say no. Why would you not be in a position to say no? Of course you can. You can always say no. You can break up with anyone at any point for any reason. It's very simple. Unless you're divorced, it's a little bit hairier of a breakup, but otherwise, you can break up with anyone at any time for any reason. And I don't understand why people don't use that to their advantage a little more frequently. They're like, I don't know if I can break up with them. Yeah, yes, you can. Yes, you can. If there's legal things involved, rent, pets, whatever, sure, okay. It's a little bit harder if you own property together or whatever. It is harder. But that doesn't mean you can't break up with them at any time. Okay, so I'm gonna say not the asshole unless the reason that he wants to open the relationship and she's not in a position to say no is that she cheated on him originally or something. What does everyone else think? Do you think OP is or isn't the asshole based on the title? I'm thinking unless she cheated first or something, then she's probably not the asshole. Okay, well, anyway. This was originally posted in 2015. Interesting. Okay, because this was posted the update story was posted within the last week. So interesting. Lana said he wants permission to cheat. Yeah, in my opinion, opening relationships is basically that. I wonder if he already has someone in mind. I think if an open relationship or opening a relationship is going to be successful, neither person should already have someone in mind. Because if you do have someone in mind already, then you probably were going to cheat and you just wanted permission to do that. That's my opinion on the open relationship thing. I'm also a very monogamous person. So I can never understand this personally, but I do get that other people feel different ways about essentially polygamy. So, and Lana said for sure he does. He probably has someone he works with. Yeah, probably, most likely. Yeah, or works out with or whatever. Yeah, so I'm going to say probably not the asshole unless we find out she did cheat or something. Oh, and there's a trigger warning. They can't infidelity, invasion of privacy, sexual harassment. That's not really a big trigger to me, but if these are things that make you uncomfortable, then feel free to skip this story or whatever. Okay. So the original story was titled Me, 25 Male. Oh, wait a minute. Prior to these posts, a post many in the comments believed to be from the OP's boyfriend. Oh, interesting. Okay. Me, 25 male, getting pretty frustrated with my girlfriend, 25 female, who doesn't want to give me blowjobs. We should date Laura Owens. And making up stories as to why she can't. Do I break up with her over this? Again, you can break up with anyone at any time for any reason. If you cannot live without blowjobs, then yes, you should break up with her if she doesn't want to give them. Very simple. Very, very simple. I wasn't expecting that. Oh my God, it was ridiculous. So this was posted in 2015, which is 7 months prior to the original post, apparently. Hi, please tell me if I should post somewhere else. I didn't want to post to r/sex because they advise everyone to break up when something's wrong with your sex life, and I'm not sure if I really need to break up. Maybe there's some other way to fix this. Where was this originally posted? Relationship advice? I'm not sure. But anyway, I guess it doesn't say. I guess I can do that. Yeah, so r/relationships. Okay. I've done my research, guys. Okay, r/relationships is where he posted this. Instead of r/sex. Background. My girlfriend of 2 years is very cute and funny, and my parents love her, but she's not the best at giving head. I told her before and tried to give her tips, but she doesn't really improve. I just want to add that I was always very patient and never pressured her. Anyway, I didn't get many blowjobs, maybe 2 to 3 months. In July, I got some Facebook messages from an ex a few years ago. It was completely out of the blue. She sent me some pics of our time together, and pretty much all of those very pics of it having sex. The English doesn't make sense, but all of those pics became pics of us having sex. I'm assuming is what they're trying to say. And there were 2 GIFs of her giving me head. Okay, but the conversation, you shouldn't have gone anywhere sexual with that when you're in a relationship. And this is probably who he wants to bang and wants to open the relationship for. Anyway, there were 2 GIFs of her giving me head. Now, I didn't ask for those pics. It doesn't matter if you didn't ask for them. You might have like insinuated things, and then she sent you pics. However, my girlfriend finds the conversation because she obviously has a problem with boundaries and goes completely crazy. Okay, why is she snooping through his shit? But also, she had a reason to snoop through his shit. She found something pretty damning. So, like, she followed her intuition. I mean, you have a problem with boundaries. If you're in a monogamous relationship, and you're talking to an ex like this, you have a problem with boundaries. So does the person you're with who finds the information, but you shouldn't have had the information to find. Okay, yeah, no. Fast forward to now. We worked through it. She knows I didn't want these pics. It took some time. Why is the capitalizing so wacky on this? It took some time, but until she wanted to have sex with me again, which was a bit melodramatic in my opinion, because she doesn't trust you, bro. She doesn't want to bang you. She doesn't trust you. But since July, she hasn't given me a single blowjob. Last night, I asked her to blow me, and she went completely stiff and, without even trying, told me she couldn't get those pictures out of her head at me and my ex. She then started to cry hysterically and locked herself up in the bathroom. You're probably having an emotional affair, even if you haven't touched her physically. Like you are talking to an ex, without telling your girlfriend about it. Period. That's not okay. Lana says they need to break up immediately and block each other and never speak again. Yes, I agree. That is not melodramatic. That is the correct response. I fully agree with you. As I said when I first read the title, you can break up with someone at any point for any reason. And they should have broken up. If he wants blowjobs and she's not really good at them or willing to give them. Also, if someone keeps telling me I suck at something, like, I don't want to do it, you know? Anyway. Because it sounds like he kept telling her she sucked at it too. But like that doesn't inspire confidence in me trying to improve, you know? Anyway. She locked herself up in the bathroom. When I asked her later how long it will take her, she said she didn't know if she could ever do it again. You caused her some trauma. Lana said they should stay 1,000 feet away from each other just because. Yeah, I agree. Oh my goodness. Where do I go from here? She's wonderful and sex is otherwise great, but I don't want to miss out on blowjobs for the rest of my life. If sex is great, what the fuck do you need blowjobs for anyway? Like, I don't understand like why you're so obsessed with blowjobs. You just want a girl on her knees. Is that what it is? Or it's the only way, like you're the only one getting pleasure out of it. Is that what it is? Like, why is it that you need to like have blowjobs despite the sex being great? This doesn't make sense to me. Okay. What can I tell her to make her change her mind? Also, I think it sounds like a pretty weak excuse because she just doesn't like want to practice. Again, with the capitalizing, is that like him trying to put emphasis? Because you should have just capitalized the whole word then. But anyway, um, editor's note, below is the original title. Okay, so this is the original post 7 months later from the girlfriend. Hello, fellow Reddit. I'm surprised that they actually didn't include any top comments. I actually want to go and look at some of the top comments. I'm so curious. Let's see. Share this tab instead. Do you go down on her? Also, you absolutely sound like you care more about blowjobs than the fact that your girlfriend is hurt by what she saw. That, yes, that. You and your buddy Paco go out for pizza every Friday night. And after a few Friday nights, you realize that when it comes time to pay, Paco is never around or looking at his busted ass flip phone like it gets email or some shit. What? And you end up paying. So after 3 or 4 times, you say, "Hey, Paco, I love getting pizza with you, but I sort of need you to pay sometimes because I'm not made of money." And Paco, okay, this is the dumbest comment I think I've ever seen on Reddit, possibly. I've seen dumber comments, but anyway, next comment. Your ex sent you gifs of her giving you head, and you think your girlfriend is the one with the boundary issues? Do you not understand how strange that sentence is? Her reaction is completely reasonable. Your ex literally sat there and made gifs of your former sex life. That's a concentrated amount of really fucked up effort. And you're completely dismissing how disturbing that is. How can she process it at all when you're like, oh, let's just ignore this completely. Weird shit happened. Yeah. Your ratio of concern about your girlfriend's mental well-being versus why do I not get blowjobs when I want them is completely out of balance. So I would break up with her because you're not treating her well in this relationship. Yes, I agree with this person. Lana says this dude gives serial killer energy, and yeah, I agree. He goes in and shoots up a place because his girlfriend or ex-girlfriend won't give him head or whatever. He goes on a killing spree after getting a series of blowjobs and he kills everyone who gives him a blowjob. I don't know. Anyway, that is crazy. But I agree with that commenter. So next commenter said, so let me get this straight. Your girlfriend doesn't like giving blowjobs and you critique her performance rather than praising her. Then she finds out your ex-girlfriend gave better blowjobs. She probably feels super insecure and pressured at this point. You should be sitting down and asking her how she feels about blowjobs, why she's so upset about those pics. Okay, it's really obvious why she's so upset about those pics. that part of this comment is very stupid. Anyway, what you can do to make her more comfortable, etc. Instead, you're counting in your head how long it's been since you had a blowjob and how many blowjobs per month you had before that. You sound really immature and unaware of how to have a healthy sexual relationship. Even now, you're not asking, what can I do to make my girlfriend feel better, but what can I tell her to magically make her open her mouth? Yes, to almost all of that. Yes. Another commenter said, you sound incredibly selfish. Your priority is getting head. Your current partner is disgusted with you and no longer wants to oblige. You can't control her. She isn't a blowjob machine that is just happening to malfunction. My advice to you is to dump your girlfriend and get a better job so you can purchase your on-demand blowjobs from independent contractors. Oh my God. Captain Ned says, I don't like this guy. I also don't like this guy. This guy is a piece of shit. Like, very clearly a piece of shit. This is actually crazy. Oh wait, hold on. I think I messed up the, okay, here we go. I feel like my StreamYard just did something weird and I don't know what because I didn't do anything besides read comments. Anyway, it made my screen really, really small. And I'm not sure why. Okay, now it's back to normal. Okay. That was freaking me out a little bit because that was like, this is crazy. And I want to make sure that everything is working properly and you guys are looking at the right story and stuff like that. So anyway, yes, dump your girlfriend and get a better job so that you can pay hoes to do it. Dark Dark Rain said, you're an asshole. Yes, the most simple explanation for the whole thing. Absolutely. Okay. So now back to the story. Check that out. And oh, I should have actually done like switched it and then anyway. Okay. Okay, so we read the blowjob post. Hello, fellow Redditors. This is the girlfriend now. I hope this post is not too not safe for work for the subreddit. I don't know what subreddit. Research r/relationships. Oh, same subreddit. Interesting. It's not like she picked relationship advice or something like that. It was like the same exact one. Interesting. Interesting. Hello. You wanna listen to a not safe for work post about blowjobs, babes? Bond is back. He is back. And he says hello to everyone. Yes. We need a break from blowjobs for 10 seconds to admire how adorable Bond is. Okay. And he's gone. Okay. I honestly just need some outside opinion. I normally talk to my family and friends about any problems I have, but I don't want to talk to them or I don't want them to know about this specific situation. Throwaway because boyfriend is a Redditor. Background, my boyfriend, Jack, and I mostly have a great relationship. We share the same interests and hobbies, are part of an awesome group of friends, share a love for traveling and go on trips together often, and I get along super well with his family. However, there's been a problem with our sex life from the beginning. Jack is very much into oral. He told me so right from the start. Okay, not a problem in and of itself. However, no matter how often he got blowjobs, it was never good enough or often enough. 2 or 3 times, even when he was drunk, he compared me to his ex of 4 years. Hell no. Sarah, who had apparently been amazing at giving blowjobs, but he always apologized the next day saying he didn't mean it. Oh, like abusive partners do. Oh, I didn't mean to hit you. So sorry. Oh, everyone hydrate. Is that where you're gonna pop a squat? He's literally like blade right there against the wall that is right here. Right under my chair. You are so funny. You are so funny. Okay. It was hurtful, but I tried not to let it get to me, especially because he and Sarah are still friends. They don't really see each other, but sometimes talk on the phone. They had 2 dogs together that belong to her now, and he sometimes checks in on them. I don't love that. Captain Ned said, another idiot. No, it's the same idiot. This is the girlfriend now posting. So the first post about the blowjobs was the boyfriend, and that was his post, basically trying to find some magical phrase to say to her to get her over her trust issues of him having extremely inappropriate communication with his ex and her finding it. And now this is the girlfriend's perspective 7 months later. Last summer, however, I discovered some sex videos of Jack and Sarah on his computer. I admit I was snooping, and I know that's not okay. The videos were all of them having oral sex, and they were dated shortly before our relationship started, even though their relationship ended more than a year before that. I was devastated. I know it might seem unreasonable because, of course, I knew they had sex, but seeing them both together like this just made me cry for hours on end. I was already insecure about the whole thing, and this made it impossible for me to look him in the eye for some time. I told him, of course, and he said, "That's what I get for snooping." That's what, no. There's a reason you snooped. You had a feeling. Lana said, "Why isn't he with Sarah then? Jack and Sarah sound meant to be." Yeah, exactly. Might as well have just called her Jill. Where was I? That's what I get for snooping. I realized this was really wrong of me, but I just couldn't unsee it, if that makes any sense. It does make sense. You found pictures or an image, like videos of your boyfriend with his ex, and because you had a feeling, and so you went through his stuff and found it. Like, that is horrible. That's horrible. Anyway, we had a rough time after that. I had a hard time giving or receiving oral. Every time I started doing it, those scenes came back to my head and I started crying again. I told him I needed more time and he kept pushing for it. Months went by. I know this sounds really very unreasonable and maybe as if this was just an excuse, but I honestly just couldn't let it go. Maybe it wouldn't have been so bad if he hadn't constantly asked for it. Yeah, I think his pushing for it is making it worse for her. And if he would just lay the fuck off, she might get over it in her own time and like want to do it again, maybe. But you constantly pushing it is not helping, in my opinion. But he asked every day when I would be ready for blowjobs again. Every day. That is crazy. Oh my God. The only thing you should be asking for every day is money if you lent someone money. It didn't help that he kept talking about Sarah every time he was drunk. Yeah, he's not over his ex. It just hurts so much. Just as a side note, we had plenty of normal sex during this time, about 2 to 3 times a week. However, I decided to just get it over with. We started having oral again some weeks ago. It mostly ended with me needing some time to myself afterwards and crying silently in the bathroom. Worst thing is, he's not happy with it either. He said it feels forced, like I'm not into it. Because it is. It is. You're not into it. You don't want to do it. He's pushed you into it. That's terrible. Anyway, I want to stress that I really get that he's frustrated. Last week, he said he had a solution for our problem. Basically, he wants to have oral sex with other women so that I wouldn't have to give him bad blowjobs anymore. That sucks. I'm not sure if he means it or not. I'm not sure if he means it or he just wants to pressure me into something. He already has pressured you into something. This is terrible. Girl, have a backbone, please. Please get a backbone. Also, I don't know if this is maybe a reasonable request because I can't seem to do it. I obviously don't want him to be unhappy. However, I obviously also don't want him to have sex with other women, even if it's just oral. It actually makes me sick to my stomach just thinking about him with other women, but maybe an alternative to this is the end of our relationship, and I don't want that either. But that's the only way that this ends, with both of you having any sanity left. I'm thinking maybe if there were some rules established, for example, not Sarah, it might work out. Or is there any other solution besides me simply getting over it? Am I even in a position to say no when I can't give him the alternative? No, you can say no at any point in time for any reason. Am I even in a position to say no? I've been working on it with my therapist, but I have a lot of trust issues due to family and ex-boyfriends. So we've been working up to the situation slowly. Any advice? Are we incompatible? Is there any hope? You are incompatible. There is no hope. Break up. Please, for the love of all that is holy, break up. And he does want it. He wants Sarah to give him head, by the way. So anyway. Relevant comment. And why didn't your therapist say you should break up with him? I know like therapists aren't supposed to give life advice, but like your therapist should have said something to the effect of, even if they didn't say break up, well, this sounds like a very serious compatibility issue. How do you feel about that? Commenter one, uh, and everyone hydrate. And now I'm going to hydrate with not alcohol. Commenter one said, last week he said he had a solution to our problem. Basically, he wants to have oral sex with other women so that I wouldn't have to give him bad blowjobs anymore. What an asshole. That is a horribly cruel thing to say. At first, I was gearing up to give you advice about talking about giving better blowjobs. Give you advice about talking about how to give better blowjobs. Why do I get notifications only while I'm streaming? It is actually so annoying for Adobe Acrobat. Like, get fucked. Anyway. And telling him that the comments about his ex absolutely have to stop. And now he's being a dick, but it's fixable. But after that comment, just no. He doesn't care about or respect you. Yes, he sees you as a mouth, and that is all. A mouth that gets along with his family. OOP said, I've asked him on numerous occasions what I can do better. The worst thing about this is that he never had an answer to that. He only said things like, how should I know how this works? Or I've never had to explain it before, etc. You're not even giving like workable solutions, like you're not giving constructive criticism, you're just criticizing. Commenter 2 said, this guy is being terrible to you. Comparing you sexually to his ex, tell him that, tell you that you give bad blowjobs instead of saying something like, I love it when you do this thing with your mouth part, or whatever it is to get you doing what he likes. Keeping sex videos of his ex, that's all incredibly shitty behavior all by itself. The constantly pressuring you to blow him when he was clearly emotionally traumatizing, when it was clearly emotionally traumatizing for you though, that's just unconscionable. Dump this asshole. Tell him to go fuck Sarah's face all he wants to, so you can find someone who actually cares about you and your feelings and your needs. OOP said, I'm afraid to admit it, but I don't know if I can find that someone. You're 25. You can find that someone. Of my 3 relationships, this is by far the best one. Well, that sucks. I hope that doesn't make me sound really, really pathetic. No, it doesn't make you sound pathetic. It makes it sound like you have terrible experiences in the past. If this is your best relationship, and he's basically sexually pressuring you constantly. Does anyone know if that is actually like a form of assault? I'm not sure. Like pressuring someone every single day until they finally give in and do it, even though it's like traumatizing to them. Does that legally, does that fall on the side of kind of a weird kind of assault? I don't know. Anyway, Commenter 3 said, what happened to you that makes you think that this is how you should be treated? OOP said, my 2 ex-boyfriends were really shitty to me, never taking me out to dinner, on vacations, never doing anything with my ex except sitting in front of the TV, etc. Granted, I was a lot younger then and we were still in high school, but out of my 3 relationships, my current one is by far. You can't judge this relationship and like all potential future relationships based on relationships you had in high school. That is so unrealistic. Like you're an adult now. She sounds very emotionally stunted, to be honest. OOP should stop comparing her boyfriend's treatment of her prior to her 2 exes. Yes. How did her exes treat her? You're right. I don't think he even cares about my feelings that much. He does apologize for mentioning his ex, but he keeps accusing me of making this all up so that I don't have to give him blowjobs. Definitely not. They were bad, but in another way, as in never wanted to do anything with me, which is why I was so happy that my current boyfriend and I have the same hobbies, a large group of friends, spend time with his family, went on trips, etc. Commenter 4 said, you sound like a human with faults, a unique laugh, baggage, hopes, memories, and the desire to be wanted. You're not pathetic. I think you're not making the best decisions for yourself. If you had a daughter with the same story, what would you tell her to do? OOP said, well, this really puts things into perspective. Of course, I would tell my daughter to run and fast. I guess that is the reason that I'm not talking to my own family and friends about it. They would probably tell me the same. So not what you want to hear. OOP responds to a comment about her relationship with her father due to women who were met with disrespect from their fathers often ending up with disrespecting partners. OOP said, my relationship with my father is non-existent. My mother left him when I was 12 because he was physically abusive, and we moved to the other side of the country. So there's that. That commenter was onto something. OOP needs to get therapy to help with her unresolved issues she has. OOP said, I already have a therapist. Well, yeah, you should dump that therapist because that therapist is not doing you any favors. They should have insinuated that you break up with your boyfriend a long time ago. Anyway, up until now, we've mostly been talking about my unresolved issues with my parents and have only talked about my problems with my boyfriend briefly. But she's been hinting that I should look out for abusive behavior from him. Yeah. Yeah, I guess pressuring someone every single day is maybe considered abusive, but maybe not assault. But it is definitely abusive behavior, 100%. I just thought abusive in the same sense of physically abusive, which sounded ridiculous to me. He never showed any signs of that. No, he's emotionally abusing you for sure. And frankly, it's kind of also sexual abuse. Maybe not sexual assault, but sexual abuse for sure. OOP's reaction to the possible post made by her boyfriend prior to her own original post. OOP said, I think this might actually be him. Some things are off. For example, I didn't find the conversation, but only the videos, and the guy in the post makes it seem like his ex contacted him all of a sudden while they were really in contact all along, but everything else is pretty much on point. Also, the way some letters are capitalized, his phone's autocorrect does that all the time. I kept asking about that when I was reading that. Oh my God, that's so funny. His phone's autocorrect does that all the time, even though I guess that's pretty common. If it's him, this breaks my heart, and that he was actually thinking about ending things over this while I was still so hurt about everything. It makes me happy though that everyone is calling him a douche. It also shows that he really thinks I'm just making all this up. Yes. Update 2, 4 days later. Or update 4 days later. Long version, thank you all for your comments. It helped me to get from sad and confused stage to the angry stage. The final straw was finding his post that he made about half a year ago, talking about breaking up with me when I was very hurt and in a vulnerable state. I then spent 2 nights at my sister's place to clear my head and told her about everything, and she was shocked and disgusted, and we talked for hours, and it was just all really freeing. Yeah, telling someone in your life is definitely that was a very good move for you. I think you've been just going a little bit crazy inside your own head about all of this, and you might have come to the realization that your relationship sucks sooner if you got it off your chest, but it's also something that is really hard to talk about, especially with like family members and friends and stuff. It's even though you're not like you shouldn't be embarrassed about it, I can see how it could be embarrassing to talk about. More so probably because of the subject matter than the other stuff, or maybe because it does make you sound less, you know, it makes you sound kind of strong, I guess is the word. It makes you sound less strong. So it makes you sound weaker, I guess, in a way. Anyway, I then decided to break it off with Jack. Jack and I lived together, but the apartment was rented in his name, so I just always gave him my half of the rent. So I hired a moving truck and got all my important stuff when he was at work yesterday and left a note that said, congratulations, our relationship is now open/over. Open, crossed out, now over. I felt bad for not having the courage to tell him face to face, but honestly, I just didn't even want to face him, even for 1 minute. Yeah, he's got enough of your face. Thank you. Okay. He kept calling me nonstop yesterday and leaving lots of messages. Some of them saying how much he misses me and loves me. Some of them saying how glad he is that it's over and how he's been cheating on me for the past year. What a shock. What a shock. Been cheating for the past year. No idea if that's true. I'm staying at my sister's for now and looking for a new apartment. I'm still sad and angry, but thinking about Jack coming home to a half-empty apartment without a bed. That one was mine. It makes me smile. That's so funny. Thanks again, internet strangers. You really opened my eyes. I'm really happy that they did open her eyes, because that is horrible. I wonder if there's a more recent update. Relevant comment. OOP clarifies on the possible post from her ex and if she was certain that it was from him. Did the ex admit the post wasn't from him? OOP said, well, it was a little different actually, but the commenters in the last thread said that it's not unusual to change some details, so maybe that's what he did. Anyway, as I said in my original post, I actually found the videos and not the pictures and GIFs. Also, he didn't tell me that she sent them to him, but that he forgot he had them. Okay. Metadata would probably beg to differ. Okay, let's see if there's another update. Some of these comments are really long. Okay, there's no other update, so I wonder why it was just posted. Anyway, yeah, so there's that one. I don't think she's the asshole. She did nothing wrong, and she was pretty much abused by this idiot. Okay. Okay, show this tab instead. Cool. Next story. My 27 female fiance, 28 male, has walked out on me 4 days before the wedding to go find himself in Asia. Blindsided, heartbroken, and mortified. What the hell do I do now? Oh, goodness. Not the asshole, that's for sure. Maybe these come up because I put in, instead of AITA or AITAH, I put in asshole, so maybe it just comes up because someone wrote asshole like in the post or whatever. I don't know, but anyway. Okay, so this sounds like something my ex would have done, actually. He was like obsessed with Asia. Anyway, China specifically. Okay, the original post was April 19th, 2016. But again, all of these are posted in Best of Redditor updates within the last week. So I don't know if they're just reposting some older update ones or if they have recent updates or not. My fiance, Jack, oh, another Jack. Geez, Jack off. My fiance, Jack, and I have been together for 4 years. We own an apartment together. We rarely argue. It was the happiest, least problematic relationship I've ever been in. I don't understand. That's why you said yes when he proposed, I assume. He proposed to me last year, and we've spent the last 9 months saving relentlessly for our wedding. Venue booked, guests all invited. Both of us were so excited. I know we both individually had some bouts of nervousness, especially as the date got closer, but as far as I know, it was just the excitement and the buildup. Jack never expressed any doubts about our relationship, and I have no idea why this has happened. Yesterday, 4 days to go, and I come out of the bedroom in the morning to see Jack in the living room looking like he's about to throw up. I immediately feel something is off. He sits me down and starts telling me he doesn't feel the same anymore and hasn't for a while. He said he thought getting married might fix things. Getting married doesn't fix things that are wrong. Some people treat marriage like it's nothing. If you're unhappy in your relationship, you have to fix that before you can consider spending the rest of your life with someone. Like, proposing is not gonna fix things anyway. He said he thought getting married would fix things, but now he knows how stupid that is. To be honest, I don't remember the majority of what he said. The only thing I could hear was my heartbeat drumming in my ears. Yeah. I just had another thought and it just into the ether. Anyway. He thought getting married might fix things, but now he knows how stupid that is. It's so convenient that he knows how stupid that is all of a sudden, like a few days before the wedding is supposed to take place. That's interesting. Anyway, he then told me he'd booked a one-way ticket to Asia and that maybe owning the apartment together. Even if you own the apartment, like, it sounds like he's like leaving you with the apartment. Oh, that's weird. Anyway, he booked a one-way ticket to Asia and that he didn't know what he wanted anymore out of life and that this would just give him some perspective. And just like that, he got up and left, and I haven't heard a word from him then. I must have spent 3 hours sat on the sofa staring into space. I can't even cry. This doesn't feel real. Reddit, what the fuck do I do now? He's switched his phone off. I have no idea where he is. I don't even know if he's actually booked a ticket, but a lot of his clothes are missing. He's actually packed for a trip, but I just don't know if this is some sort of sick joke. I feel like my heart has been ripped out from my chest. What do I tell people? What do I do? Where do I start? Well, you tell people the truth. It makes him look bad, not you. In my opinion, that's wild. You couldn't have figured this out like before. I mean, I think that's what I was thinking. It's actually really good that he left you before you got married, because getting divorced is a whole lot more work than breaking up. So at least it was before you got married. You should be thankful for that at least. 10 days later, update. My post was locked before I had a chance to reply to anything, but I read and processed every comment. Thank you to everyone who left me advice. Those who thought it might be Jack's idea of a prank, it unfortunately was true, and he is currently in Bangkok with a friend from high school. He must have been arranging this for months. The visa and injections for Southeast Asia alone take at the very least 4 weeks of planning ahead. That's so fucked up. I haven't spoken to him since the day he walked out, but but his parents rang me the next day after I made my post. She must be English. They told me that he was staying with the high school friend and that he was due to fly out the day after that was supposed to be our wedding day. He told them he plans on staying there for at least a year. He must have been saving on the side, as our joint account has not been touched and most of our paychecks went to our wedding fund and mortgage. It is sickening to consider how long he may have actually been planning this. Well, I think living in Asia is not that expensive, or at least Thailand is supposed to be pretty inexpensive. I actually really want to visit there. Pretty high up on my list. So, not just because it's inexpensive, but also because, well, it's going to be expensive for me to get there because I can't fly economy that long with my weird body. So, anyway, Jack's parents like me, but they're pretty cold people and didn't have much else to say other than offering me pragmatic advice and apologizing for their son's behavior. Since that phone call, I've heard nothing from them. Well, do you think that you're gonna like talk to them for 15 hours and braid each other's hair? Like, what more do you want from them anyway? Although they did ask me to contact them regarding the apartment at some point in the future. Contact them about what part of the apartment? What do you mean? Which I plan to sell. Oh, I'll be moving back in with, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, it seems like he like gave up clean, sort of, no? Like abruptly moving away, leaving someone to pay for the whole thing by themselves. Isn't that kind of like forfeiting it? I don't know. Anyway, I don't know the legal implications there. I'll be moving back in with my parents as soon as I find a buyer, as I can't pay the whole mortgage alone. Although Jack's parents did say they will pay his half until then. Okay, well, at least that's nice of them. As for the wedding, a lot of people suggested I give it to charity or go through with the party anyway. I wish I could say it went to good use, but I actually just spent the day with my brothers and my bridesmaids crying for around 16 hours in between sleeping. Yeah, I mean, some people can just use the party a few days later, but I think a lot of people just want to be like alone or with very select people. I don't think that many people want to party. Some people can, but I think a lot of people can't. So, they made sure that I was eating and we watched a few films together, but overall it was probably the worst day of my entire life. Yeah. I left it up to my parents to contact people and I haven't gotten involved with the logistics of canceling. I don't know if we got any money back. I'm not ready to talk about it yet. But from what I understand, an email was sent out explaining that the wedding was canceled and apologizing for how much inconvenience this would cause. The email asked that no one contact me about what had happened. If people had any questions, to speak to my parents or brothers. My parents had a gathering at their house for those who had booked flights and hotels, etc., with some of the wedding food. Okay, so at least they got some of their money's worth, I guess, and drinks and stuff. I know around 50 people ended up going. I guess it was sort of a party, but my cousin said the mood was obviously pretty bad. None of Jack's family came, of course. Well, I'm sure they weren't invited. I don't think your parents would have invited his parents, especially after his shitty behavior. Other than that, I don't really know what else to say. I've taken some time off work, and my brother has also taken 2 weeks off to make sure that I'm never home alone. Wonder if she has a history of self-harm or something. Everyone is just so hurt and angry and disappointed in Jack. I just feel completely numb. I still wake up in the mornings hoping that this is a weird dream stemming from pre-wedding nerves. I don't know how I'm going to get over this, and I still love Jack so much. I feel like he's been processed, he's been possessed by someone else, but it is him. I'm going to go to a therapist and help me come to terms with it. Yeah. Sorry this hasn't been a happy update, but it's not a happy situation. Thanks for reading. It's terrible. It's a really terrible situation. I feel very bad for this person. I hope she's doing okay. This post was from a long time ago, I think, right? 2016, maybe? Yeah. So hopefully she did well, like is doing better and found her person and got married. 2016 was a pretty rough year for me. I know that. Okay, last story. And this one's definitely an Am I the Asshole? Am I the asshole for telling my friend that she needs a life of her own and that she has to stop leeching off of mine? I mean, that's kind of a mean way to put it, I guess, but probably not. If you feel like it's gotten to the point where you have to tell your friend to stop leeching off of you and need to get their own life, I mean, the way you put it might make you the asshole, but I don't think you're the asshole. That's my initial conclusion. What does everyone else think? Okay, I'm going to start reading. Oh, there's some trigger warnings. Stalking and obsessive behavior. Okay. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that'll do it. Okay, the original post from 2021. Hi, my 25 female, long-term friend, 25 female, has a history of doing whatever it is that I'm interested in at the moment. She asks questions until she's got a clear idea of what music, books, movies I'm into, and then does the whole act of how she's discovered that in front of the whole friend group. Oh, that's so annoying. Ugh, stop sharing things with her. Instead of telling her she needs to get her own life, just stop sharing things with her. Being the pushover that I am, I'm sad to say that I've let her do this for some time while slowly trying to put some distance between us. You need much more distance. This also extends to people. Any new friend or even acquaintance that I make should be cleared with her. What? And then she makes a friend move on them to get closer to them. Okay. She has even tried to weasel her way into my family gatherings and private events. She also, for some reason, keeps telling my dad that she's like the daughter he would have wanted. He's as confused as I am, but we learned to just laugh it off. No, you shouldn't be laughing this off. This is very weird behavior. I've recently noticed that she's rarely interested in something of her own volition, or all her leads are from me. I've been getting tired of her behavior for a while. Things came to a head a few months ago when she started texting a guy, 27 male, that I've been speaking to for a while. Went on a few dates, nothing serious as of now, but I'm hoping there would be. And telling him how compatible they could be. She does. She wants your life. He was confused and thought it was me texting from her phone, so he double-checked with me. I, of course, was beyond angry, but instead of confronting her immediately, I told him to ask her why she was doing this and if she was aware that him and I were almost a thing. Almost a thing. Just be a thing at that point. What the hell? How old are they? I mean, they were relatively young, but like old enough that like, are you dating or not? Like, are you together or not? I hate all these different terms that the kids have these days. You're in a relationship or you're not in a relationship. That's my opinion. Some talking to each other, talking, whatever. I don't know. All the stupid stages now. Anyway, her response to him was to flirt even further and say that her and I always had similar tastes, but went on to mention how he might be better off with her. He sent me the screenshot, of course, and I sent them back to her and said, "You need to leave me alone. Things in my life are not up for grabs. You have leached off of me for long enough. If you keep this up, I won't have an issue shaming you in our friend group." Okay, see, when you make a threat like that, she's going to make you look bad somehow. Like she's going to twist the story in her favor in some way. You should have just outed her in the friend group, but the previous part of what you told her was good, in my opinion. She got very standoffish and accused me of tricking her by using the guy's phone to make her look bad. No, she made herself look bad. She also proceeded to speak badly of me in our friend group. Yep, see, saw that coming, predicted that, sure did, predicted that. I might be the asshole because all this, while other than trying to keep some distance between us, I did not properly voice my concerns. She did, however, notice my discomfort at various occasions, especially my family gatherings. So am I the asshole for handling things this way? No, you're not the asshole. I think you made it harder for yourself handling it this way instead of telling her to stop leeching off of you and then going in the group chat yourself and outing her. Anyway, that's what would have been a better move, but otherwise, everyone in your friend group should know who you are. So it shouldn't really be a problem. Verdict, not the asshole. Relevant comment. Not the asshole, but I'm not sure you understand what friend means because this girl isn't one. Yes, you were a bit harsh, but I can understand your frustration. Her behavior is beyond steamrolling your boundaries. It's outright disturbing. Yes. Oh, he said, every time I try to put some distance between us, she shows up with a personal issue that she can only share with me, and she always guilts me by making it seem like she has no one else to turn to. And every time, so stupidly, I get looped back into the drama. Just don't answer the door, babe. Downvoted commenter, everyone sucks here. She's clearly showing some honestly creepy behavior and trying to swoop your guy isn't cool. But two wrongs don't make a right, and I feel you responded in anger and could have handled it better. That being said, I think you have 1000% valid points to tell her, but given your long-term friendship with her, I think a civil conversation would have been in order instead of threatening to ostracize her in your friend group. Yeah, like I said, she made you look bad in your friend group because you told her that that was what your plan was. If you did that first, then she wouldn't have really had a leg to stand on there. OP said, I wasn't in the greatest state of mind while replying to her. I was honestly just beyond myself with anger. And I agree, I could have handled it better, but it was sort of like the final straw that broke the camel's back. Yeah. I understand, and like I said, I agree with how I think she handled it okay, except for telling her that she was going to out her in the friend group, in my opinion. Next commenter said, not the asshole. Yes, you could have said something sooner, but this is obviously inappropriate behavior, and you have good reason to suspect that she's known all along and isn't a hopelessly oblivious amoeba. Do amoebas leech or something? Or it's just the one cell? Is that why that person would bring up amoeba? That's so random. It reminds me of Earth Science. So funny. OP said, I was hoping she would catch on to my discomfort and the timing of me trying to move away, but she would never acknowledge that. Interesting. Commenter 3 said, not the asshole, but you could have just pretended to be into something really awkward and shameful before this incident. Definitely mislead her from now on if you guys continue to be friends. I wouldn't, but I'm not you. Oh, he said, I really wish I did this now. Haha. Yeah, like, what is something interesting and fun that you could mislead her with? That would be embarrassing or something. Being obsessed with Tony Robbins and anal, maybe? If you know, you know. Anyway, commenter 4 said, not the asshole. I wouldn't say I'd shame her to the group, but I definitely tell them what she was trying to get up to. If you'd be ashamed of your friend group finding out about something, you probably shouldn't do it. Yeah. OP said, some of my / our friends have mentioned to me how she has in the past seemed to ignore my personal boundaries, especially with my family events, and how some of her comments seemed off. I've discussed how her trying to copy me has affected me in the past with 2 of my super close friends, so it wouldn't be such a shock to them, I feel. Yeah, like I said, your friends should know you. Okay, update 9 days later. Firstly, thanks to everyone who commented to help me out. Some of it was tough love, but I read every comment and I had a chuckle at a few. But it also helped me realize that the issue wasn't as simple as someone copying my interests. So after posting, I rang up one of my close friends to let her know what's been happening. She seemed appalled at how my friend made a move on the guy that I was seeing. She also confided in me that she often keeps telling her how good and well my life is and how she wishes either her family was like mine or her job was like mine, etc. She thought it was just harmless wishing, but when everything was put together, it just seemed so unhinged. Yes. I also spoke to my dad and mom about how unnerving it was to have her try and do all these things. I do when they told me that once a few years back while I was completing a work experience training in another city, she offered to come and stay at my house to keep them company. That's so weird. That is so weird. They honestly thought she was joking because she lives in the same city with her family, and my training was only for 6 months. So with this new information, I decided it was well and truly the time to cut all contact with her. I've let my friends know that she is no longer a part of my life and to warn me about plans we were both part of, and most of them seem to see this coming. I also decided to stop being around her other close friends. My friends have also told me, wait, she has other close friends? Why can't she tell them things? Why she's always coming to you for things? If she has other close friends, why does she want to, like, how would anyone be friends with her? She doesn't even know who she is. She's just copying you. That doesn't make sense to me, like, psychologically. My friends have also told me that they'd keep her from knowing anything about me and my life updates. Good. I was the one who brought her into this specific friend circle. That's always how it is, isn't it? And a few of them already did not get along great with her. So they were cool with not hanging out with her. Okay, that's good. After not texting her back for a while, she texted me to say, are you seriously going to let this one guy take away our year's friendship? Something along those lines of that. And I just said, yes. She's kept texting and calling constantly and eventually sent a message saying, I hope you and the guy don't work out, and then blocked me. Okay, whatever. The trash took itself out. I had refrained from blocking her because I did not want to aggravate her or to have her show up at my house. But after she blocked me, I blocked her on all social media and told my parents what happened. You should have told your parents a while ago, actually. Surprised you didn't tell your parents when you told your friends. Well, actually, didn't you say you did tell them? Or you just said that you blocked her, maybe, or cut all contact. I don't know. Anyway. So anyway, I feel better not having her hovering around my life, but I'm sure she's going to try and initiate contact sometime. But this time I've decided to stand up for myself. Good. Relevant top comments. Commenter 1 said, I'm happy for you, but also afraid for you. Hopefully she will move on to something else, and she probably will. Do you have any security cameras? Do you always make sure your doors are locked? Does she know where you work? OP said, yes, I recently moved back in with my parents as my work switched to work from home format, and this place is equipped with security cameras, and we have 2 German Shepherds, which I'm pretty glad about. I hope the German Shepherds don't like her. Commenter 2, sorry, I'm getting very cold. One moment, please. Okay. Okay. Commenter 2 said, I wanted to throw out some tips so you can protect yourself, OP, just in case. Change your password so she can't log into your accounts and read your messages. She might have found a password you wrote down somewhere, etc. Go through your friends on social media and delete anyone that you're unsure about. Consider not using social media as much or just post rarely in case she uses another account to view your profile. Make sure your parents have blocked her as well. Consider not going to the same spots to eat if you frequent the same place. Maybe go to a different grocery store if she lives close by. These are very good tips to avoid a stalker slash obsession situation. If you can afford it, get security cameras. If she unexpectedly shows up to talk about stalkers, oh my goodness, making another appearance, it's Mr. Bond. Just the cutest kitty cat. You want to read? No? Always distracted by something. You're so funny. Okay. If you can afford it, get security cameras. If she unexpectedly shows up at the grocery store or at your gym and tries to talk to you, start recording her on a voice memo app. Yes, start recording. Always be ready to record. If she ever leaves you notes on your car or shows up to your place of work, that is a big red flag. Yeah. I didn't bring my flags with me, guys. If any red flags of stalking start, tell your employers about it as a preventative measure. Also tell your neighbors so that they're aware of what she looks like and what car she drives. Yeah, this person maybe has survived some stalking themselves because these are all really wonderful tips. If a few red flags happen, then contact your local law enforcement agency. Just in case, read about red flags of stalkers. She might start doing it, but probably won't. You can also read about obsessive disorders and lack of identity to understand her better. It's great that you have already told your friends about this. Don't keep things to yourself. Don't forgive her. You can't trust her. Good luck, OP. OP said, thank you greatly for this. I'm currently working on removing people from my friends list. Since we still have restrictions on there, on where I live. Since we still have restrictions where I live, there isn't much of a social life going on. And I work from home currently, which is good. This must have been like 2020. Commenter 3 said, good for you. It's lovely to have an update. So thank you for that. I'm glad that you have gotten so much support from your family and friends. I hope you can continue to live a happy and healthy life. Yeah. Commenter 4 said, yikes, write all of this down with dates and print out screenshots of anything you can. If she ends up stalking you, having this already prepared can be the difference between getting you a restraining order or getting ignored by the police. Smart. This is deeply concerning behavior, but it sounds like you're doing everything right. I had a stalker that escalated to an attempt to kill me with no consequences from the police, and the stress that being constantly on guard against a threat is physically and mentally draining. Yeah. So my advice to you is that she is not a threat just yet. I think it's threatening, personally. Why let it get to the point where they're attempting to end you, right? You don't need to become super vigilant. If she intends to escalate things, you will definitely know about it. So for now, just keep being discreet, but don't get obsessive. That wreaks havoc on your body. Interesting. Most likely she'll find something else to obsess over. If she does escalate in your life again, then you need to take that very seriously as a safety risk. But you're not at that point right now. You're making the choices, and I'm just glad that your tribe is protecting you. Yes. Okay, so that's the end of the post. So overall, not really many asshole. All right, as far as a little palette cleanser, I've got to like find a way to zoom in, but this is like acting really weird. Why is it so hard to zoom on Instagram on a computer? Anyway. Okay. That should do it. All right. Share this tab instead. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it very much. I hope you've enjoyed these stories, and I will talk to you guys again soon. I'm not sure when this week. I've got a busy weekend, but maybe Sunday night or something I'll do a Reddit reading. Okay. Enjoy this video of animals doing wacky crap. Because that is just what they do. Oh no, wait, why did it do that? Okay. Now share this tab. Okay. Bye guys. Have a good night. Remember, stay fiery and always journal on Reddit.
Why is it quiet? How did you get up there?
Get out. Get out.
Get out. I don't care. Get out. Sure, come back the way you came. Wow. Wow. Oh my God.
Hi, Tubbs. No.
Oh, well. Who chewed the headset? Who chewed the headset?